Okay, so we got to do this one problem today. That's it. There's going to be no new lesson today other than this one problem. So it says at my party, I'm going to serve pepper jack and cheddar cheese. I want at least 2 pounds of each, and I want to spend at most $20. And then it's $4 per pound for the pepper jack and $2 per pound for the cheddar. And we got to make a system of linear inequalities and then graph the solution of this, okay? So the first thing we'll do is we'll let, if you look at the graph over here on the right, they have pepper jack on the x-axis and they have cheddar on the y-axis, okay? So that means that the pepper jack is going to be your x. And the cheddar is going to be your y. All right, and it's the number of pounds, okay? So it's the number of pounds. And that's for both x and y. So I got to slide up just a little bit for you guys. So x is the number of pounds of pepper jack and y is the number of pounds of cheddar. All right, well then the next part says, I want at least 2 pounds of each. Well, that means I want x to be at least 2 pounds. And I want y to also be at least 2 pounds. So I want at least 2 pounds of pepper jack, which is x, and at least 2 pounds of cheddar, which is y. All right, so I got 2 inequalities there. But then my third inequality involves the money. So it says right here that I want to spend at most $20. So is that less than or equal to 20, or is that greater than or equal to 20? What do you guys think?
Less than or equal to?
Yeah, good. Yeah, like if I'm going out Christmas shopping and I got to spend, I only have a $20 bill, then I got to spend less than or equal to 20, right? So we know this third inequality is going to have a less than or equal to 20. All right, and this one's really a money inequality. So it costs $4 for each pound of pepper jack, plus it's going to cost $2 for each pound of cheddar. So it looks like that. Now what we did next when we were graphing these things is we thought of these inequalities as equal to signs so that we could locate the lines, right? So we're going to have 3 lines that we have to locate. Well, to do this bottom line, I think the easiest way to do that one is that's in standard form, right? That's ax plus by equals c. So I'm going to make that little table for this one. So for this one, I'm going to make a little table like this. So I'm going to plug in 0 for x and 0 for y. So if I put in 0 for x right here, well, 4 times 0 is 0. So that means I'm just going to cover this up. And I'm just going to solve the equation now, 2y equals 20. So what do you get for y then? If 2y equals 20, what's y? 10, good. Ethan and Vanessa, you got to get your camera back on. I'm going to have Mrs. Zaborowski in here observing me next week, and I'm going to call you guys out, make sure you have your face on the camera, okay? So that's 10. Let me get these out of the way though. There. So this is 10. Then we're going to plug 0 in for y. So we're going to put 0 in for y right there. Well, 2 times 0 is just 0. So that means I can just cover this up. So then I got to solve 4x equals 20. So what's x then?
5.
Good. So x is 5. And then we're going to kind of remember what we have here because I'm going to slide over there now and we're going to look at the graph, okay? I'm going to make that larger. So kind of remember what we have over here on the left-hand side of the page. So let's look at the graph. Okay. So let's see, what do we got a graph here? Well, we got to get the point 0, 10 and the point 5, 0 on the graph. So again, this was our x-axis. This was our y-axis. And let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And here we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. So then the first line we have to graph was x equals 2. And actually, it was actually x is greater than or equal to 2, right? Now, if it's x equals 2, is that a vertical line or a horizontal line? What do you think? If you have a line and all the x coordinates are always 2, the y coordinates could be anything. Is that going to be vertical or horizontal? Straight up and down or straight across? Come on, think about it. Think about a bunch of points where all the x coordinates are always 2.
Horizontal?
No, that would be y equals 2. So if I draw this one, let's do this one in blue. If I draw that one. Now remember, we're looking at this inequality symbol right here also. Since that has the equal to bar, we're going to make a solid line, okay? At x equals 2. So x equals 2 would look like this. Hold on, that's got a little bit of a crooked spot in it. I should get a ruler. All right, that's not too bad. So that's x equals 2. Because every single x coordinate, like if I pick a point on here, that x coordinate is 2, right? That x coordinate is 2. So all the x coordinates are 2. Okay? So now, what point do we want to test? We got to pick a point to test. What's the easiest point we can test?
0, 0.
Yeah, we're going to test 0, 0. Hey, one more quick comment is notice when I graph this thing, I don't graph it like this, okay? The reason I don't make all that part of the graph is x cannot be negative, so I don't need the graph over there, right? The number of pounds of pepper jack cheese cannot be a negative number. Same thing, I'm not going to have any graph down here either because the number of pounds of cheddar cheese cannot be negative either. So I'm only graphing in quadrant number 1, okay? So let me erase that stuff. Okay, so you guys said pick 0, 0, right? So we're going to test 0, 0, which is right here. So we're testing this point. Hold on. We're testing this point, and we're going to test it in the original inequality, okay? So we're going to test 0, 0. And then, well, there's no y value to, there's no y variable to plug in, so all you got to do is plug in the 0 for x right there. So that would give you 0 is greater than or equal to 2. So is that true or false? Is 0 greater than 2?
No.
No. So this is false. So since we picked the point over here to the left of the blue line and it was false, that means we have to shade the other side. We have to shade to the right of the blue line. So that would look something like this. All right, now I'm not going to leave that shaded like that because that's going to make a big mess, but just remember that we shaded to the right of the blue line. All right, then we got to do our next line. So I'm going to erase all this stuff. So our next line was y equals 2. It was actually y is greater than or equal to 2. So then is y equals 2, is that a vertical line or a horizontal line?
Horizontal.
Good, yeah. All the y values, all the y coordinates on that line would be 2. So let's do this one in, I don't know. Let's do this one in red. So y equals 2. Again, notice that we have the equal to bar here on this inequality, so we're going to make a solid line at y equals 2. So that would look something like that. See if I can make it a little straighter. I should get a ruler. That's not very good either. Hold on, I got to turn my iPad. All right, I'll go with that one. So there's y equals 2. Then we need to test the point. What point do you guys want to test?
Zero comma zero.
Yep. So we'll test 0, 0. So we're going to test 0, 0. Well, there's no x variable to plug in the 0 for, right? So we're just going to take this y value of 0 and we're going to plug it in right there. So that gives us 0 is greater than or equal to 2. Is that true or false?
False.
Good. So it's false. All right, so then we picked the point below the red line and it was false. So that means we need to shade the other side. So we're going to shade the above the red line, which would look like this, right? But then remember, we also shaded to the right of the blue line, which would look like this, right? Can you guys see where the double shaded part would be? So I kind of made a big mess. But what you should see is the double shaded part now is actually in here. So just remember that. The double shaded part is in there. Because I'm going to erase that because, again, we're going to make a big mess here. All right. So then we got to do the third one. So I'm going to erase all this stuff. So the third inequality was what? I can't see it over there to my left. I think it was, what was it? It was 4x plus 2y was less than or equal to 20. Is that correct? Yeah, okay. All right, so then we gotta graph this one. Well, we already made the chart for it, right? So we already made a little chart for it, and we said that when x was 0, y was 10, and when y was 0, x was 5. So we're gonna plot those 2 points. So 0, 10, that's right. Let's do this one in green. Okay, so we're going to graph this one in green. So 0, 10, that's up here. And then 5, 0, that is right here. And again, notice that this line has the equal to bar again. So that inequality would be a solid line. So we need to draw a solid line through 0, 10 and 5, 0. So that would look something like that. All right. And then what point are we going to test again? Don't be shy.
0, 0.
Yeah. So we're going to test 0, 0 again right here. So we're testing 0, 0. So we're going to test 0, 0. So then we are going to plug in the 0 for x and the 0 for y into the original inequality. So that's going to give us 4 times 0 plus 2 times 0 is less than or equal to 20. Well, 4 times 0 plus 2 times 0, that's a 0. So we get 0 is less than or equal to 20. Is that true or false?
It's true.
Yep, good. So that's true. So that means we pick the point over here. We pick this point. And it was true, so we want to shade that side of the green line. So that would look something like this. All right. But then remember, this part right here was already double shaded right there, right? Can you guys see where the triple shaded part is? It's inside that little triangle. Okay? So the points inside the triangle, those are the solutions. So let me see if I can make this look better. So get rid of this and this. So the triple shaded part is actually in here. So I don't know, whatever color that is, that kind of mustard yellow looking color one. All right. Okay, so then let's get a sample solution out of that region then. So we need a point inside of that region. That would be a possible solution. You got to remember, there's infinitely many points inside that little triangle. Any of them would be a solution. But we're going to try to find at least one solution here. I think the book usually tells you to write down 2 possible solutions. So let's see if I can find a point in there. Let's go to the point, I don't know, what do we got here? Let's go right here, maybe. And then maybe over to here. So right there. Now, can anybody tell me what are the coordinates of that point? Well, this is 2 right here. That's 3 right there. This is 3 right here. So what are the coordinates?
2.5, 3.
Say it again, please.
2.5, 3.
Awesome, yes. Yeah, so that point right there, that's one possible solution. That's 2.5, 3. All right, so that's a solution. So then you could buy what, 2.5 pounds of pepper jack. And 3 pounds of cheddar. So that's a possible solution right there. All right. So you bought at least 2 pounds, right? You needed at least 2 pounds of pepper jack. You needed at least 2 pounds of cheddar. And then the total cost had to be less than or equal to $20. Okay? So let me stop the recording on this one.